I would appreciate everybody just bearing with us for 2 minutes, and then we will get the discussion going.
Question here. We'll get to you. There are no seats.
Let me just get through my initial message, and I will go over and have a conversation with you, okay? So, the questions we're asking you to ask yourselves and to participate in the discussion. Do you believe reshaping the civil service should be a priority? Should government proceed with consolidating certain services? Or do you believe changes to the education system, like increasing class size or reducing the number of teachers to reflect the decline in student enrollment, should be implemented or not? Perhaps you believe government should change the healthcare system to have fewer hospitals and more community health centers and centers of excellence, or maybe you don't. Or perhaps you think that the private sector could fulfill some services better than government, and outsourcing or other alternative source delivery models should be considered. So this is your opportunity to tell us your priorities of the choices presented, and then government will take that feedback and we'll take it into consideration as we're making our final decision. So I will let Ben come back and just maybe go over the instructions again as to how the next session is going to proceed.
Thank you, Minister. And we're largely, so now we're going to ask you to start your discussions, and I know that there are some questions. I'll open the table and answer in terms of logistics, but for the next 20 minutes, we'd like each of your table to come up with the top 3 recommendations that you could live with, and the 2 that you would not recommend appears in the next provincial budget. Merci beaucoup. And I know some tables have some questions, so we're going to go to each of the tables that have some questions. And for those in the back, we'll get to you with a one-pager on the recommendations. I'm told that we're going to open the walls so that we could add some chairs. So stay tuned, and we'll get to some of those of you in the back standing up so that you can participate.
How come getting rid of the Language Commissioner saving $500 million a year comes down to?
Because it's not a choice that we're considering.
Not a choice?
No.
Wouldn't that be a good one? You know, showing that you really want to cut costs?
We said at the very beginning of this process, Charles, that when we had first started this process, we had said everything was on the table with the exception of constitutional rights and linguistic rights that are protected by the Constitution and the Charter.
We have human rights. We have you to protect.
Look, we could spend the next 20 years debating that in the Supreme Court, but that's not the route we want to take. There are certain rights that are there.
Is it in the Constitution to say we need a language commissioner here?
I've given you the answer, Charles, to your question. Okay, so I'm going to stop there.
Oh.
That's the reality. Okay.
Really? So we need a language commissioner. It's protected in the Constitution. That's what it said. No, I just want to know.
The memo is from you.
Sorry, I'll leave you alone.